On this beautiful Mother's Day in Michigan, we welcome you live to Grand Rapids in the finale of the inaugural Pro Volleyball Federation regular season. Two teams headed to Omaha next week for the playoffs and a chance at $1 million as the Rise take on the visiting Supernovas from Omaha. The four teams that will play in the semifinals next Wednesday have been decided. The #1 seed at the Atlanta Vibe will take on Grand Rapids, and in the nightcap, it'll be Omaha taking on the San Diego Mojo that have really finished their season in fine fashion. Welcome, everybody. I'm Paul Sunderland. Happy Mother's Day, Holly McPeak. I'm sure lovely young Leonardo is watching back in Manhattan Beach, California. I hope so as well. You know, this happens all the time in professional sports, in the NBA, in Major League Baseball, in the NFL. Things are set. The playoff picture is absolutely set. But don't Omaha and Grand Rapids kind of take a different approach to this match this afternoon?
They do. For Omaha, they know who they are. They're coming in. They want to set the tone, but they have their established starters. They're playing extremely well as a team. On the other side, Grand Rapids, they've had 7 days off. They have a couple question marks in the lineup. Can they score on that opposite Chase? And so, different lineup. You want to create momentum going into the playoffs. And
Grand Rapids has lost 3 out of 4. That's not the way you want to go into a competition when you have a chance to win $1 million bonus. The ageless one for Omaha, Bethania De La Cruz. How would she play? What would her level of performance be in this, her 15th or 16th professional season? She's been outstanding again.
Betty De La Cruz is a rock. I mean, she does everything well. She's got an incredible step close to the ball, and the way she contacts and controls the ball, very low air, and the best server in the league. Amazing for Omaha on that left side pin. And she's supported by the new starting setter, Natalia Valentin Anderson, who is a super athlete. But she's in there because of the way that she competes and makes people around her better. I've been so impressed with her. She was actually on SportsCenter last week for the play of the day.
And for Grand Rapids now 11-12, and mentioned lost 3 of their last 4, but Claire Chase has been absolutely rock solid, the former ACC Player of the Year out of Louisville.
Yeah, Claire Chase, she can score. And we talked about it. Can they get production from that other left side pin? We know on that right side, Dimitrova can score, but Claire Chase has done her job for Grand Rapids. I talked about that opposite today. Dimitrova, the incredible opposite from Bulgaria, has done such a nice job all season, leads the league in kills per set. And she's just a veteran. You see her coaching her teammates up every single play.
A rock-solid professional 6'1" out of Bulgaria, and this will be her last match. She's retiring officially from international volleyball. She's played all over the world. There is her husband, Denis Dimitrov, And one of the reasons that she's retiring, and he too, they have a young daughter, Michaela, so happy Mother's Day there as well. And Dennis has been playing in France and Emilia all over the world, so they want to be in the same place, go back home to Bulgaria and start a new life. And Emilia is telling us that she wants to start and pursue a career as a school teacher.
An elementary school teacher.
Kayla Caffey coming on. The rise in their home white uniforms, and nicely over the top. Talk to us about the addition of Stephanie Samity, who just finished her first professional career. She's been a couple years overseas, as a matter of fact. I should correct that. But what an addition has Samity been to the Supernovas team. I
think everybody across the league has been talking about her offensive output on the right side, and Omaha really needed that. And here you see Betty De La Cruz, happy Mother's Day to her, coming out of the gates with an ace. She leads this league in aces.
Bethania De La Cruz, 6'2", out of the Dominican Republic, two-time Olympian in 2012 and 2020 would have been, but it was 2021. And you mentioned the serving prowess. Comes in with 31 aces so far on the season. 24th and final match for both of these two teams. Omaha, we showed you the bracket. Omaha, the number 2 overall seed at 16-7. Nunaviller is slowed and quickly out of the back row. Nice dig by Samity. Look what I found. And off the edge of the block, nicely done. We're going to see a lot of that on the evening. From 6-foot Claire Chassé.
In that one, Ricochet caught Samity right in the head, but she looks like she's okay.
That was a heck of a rip out of the back row by Erica Pritchard. 6'3", playing on the outside, and that's been one of the question marks about Grand Rapids. And you pointed it out before first serve, Holly. Claire Chassé playing brilliantly all season long, but who would bookend her? And it looks like Erica Pritchard has moved into the starting lineup, and she's about a year and some time out from an ACL injury, so really coming on at the right time.
A year ago in March, she had her ACL repaired, and Kathy George has tons of confidence in Eric Pritchard as a just go-to player for them on the left side.
It is hard to put the ball away. Dimitrova running out of room, but what a brilliant dig once again by Brooke Nunaviller, wearing number 5 in the blue jerseys for the visitors from Omaha. Omaha will be the site of the semifinals and finals. Semifinals on Wednesday night, starting at 7 Eastern time. Smartly up into the block and down. Claire Chassé wearing number 9, averaging 4 kills per set, hitting over 210, also 2.7 digs and passing very, very well throughout the course of the season.
Omaha's trying to load her up, serve her, and make her put the ball away.
She has been up to it. She has been a target like that. Nicely done. This is a big, big play. Ristina Vučkova, 6'2" middle blocker, also out of Bulgaria. And when we were speaking with the fine head coach Berg Kuhn of Omaha, the middles, Tori Dixon and Vučkova, are really getting a lot more involved in the offense.
And it starts with that first contact from Nunaviller, putting it right in her setter's hand, setting up that high percentage middle attack.
Free ball coming to Omaha. Ball passed right on top of the net. Valentine Anderson was in the front court, so attacking legally. Camila Gomez. Libero play right around the league has been fantastic. Vučkova on the slide. A marathon rally, the beginning of this match, and Chassé out of the back row in the pipe up, kill off the edge of the block.
But for Omaha, they need to be a little bit concerned. There's a collision on Samity and Vučkova. Beautiful transition, Claire Chassé out of the back row. Looks like everyone's okay for Omaha.
Yeah, Vučkova trying to walk this one off. Tough serve, free ball coming. Just underway here in Grand Rapids, tied at 5. Off the top of the block and down. Emilia Dimitrova, 4.3 kills per set, just a few tenths in front of Leah Edmond, probably the front runner for the MVP. That'll be part of our conversation on the afternoon. There's Maren Grote out of the University of Washington, who's had an outstanding season, 6'4" middle blocker out of Burbank, California. She's wearing number 8 in white. I'll give you her numbers as this match goes along. As Brooke Nunaviller, 5'10" out of Chandler, Arizona, wearing number 5 All-American at Oregon, played in Turkey last year. What a career she had at Oregon in the now defunct Pac-12. It still pains me to say that. What a rip down the line. Erica Pritchard, very, very nice play.
And when we talked to Kathy George, she was very confident that Pritchard was the player she needed on that left side. Look at the physicality, nice fastball out to the left pin, crushing that line over the smaller blocker, Valentine Anderson.
Both teams spending a lot of time in system right now, but it's all about transition hitting. Very nice read by the libero, Kendall White, wearing number 3 in the white libero jersey, formerly an All-American and Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten out of Penn State, but that ball missed just a tad wide by Pritchard.
Look for Grand Rapids to attack the smallest blocker on the court for the right side of Omaha. Natalia Valentine Anderson, just about 5'7".
That's too easy to Chaussee. Vuchkova would like to have that one back. Claire Chaussee, like Brooke Nuneviller, like all the good receivers out here, right in her lap and led to an easy first ball side out. We'll step aside. We've come to our first media timeout here in Grand Rapids. The final match of the regular season before the playoffs next week in Omaha. Grand Rapids on top, 8-7. There's the Supernovas. Head coach Berg Kuhn, aptly named. She is absolutely a free spirit and has done a wonderful job on the sideline for Omaha. 4 years at Texas A&M after a very, very successful run as one of the top assistants in the country for Ray Bouchard at Kansas, where she was 2015 National Assistant Coach of the Year. There is Kathy George, winningest coach in history at Michigan State. She was there for 17 years. Been in Michigan for a long time. De La Cruz, second time through, smart shot down the line. Just very experienced, and that's the ball control with it from the spiking part of the game. Usually don't think about ball control and attacking, but she's wonderful there.
And Natalia Valentine Anderson, the setter for Omaha, just locates her so well, knows where Betty De La Cruz likes the ball.
Omaha has won the 3 previous meetings between these two teams. Oh. Emilia Dimitrova, she might have a second thought about retiring. She's still got a lot of pop. Incredible
angle. Betty De La Cruz had a big block set up in front of her. Granted, it was one-on-one, but Betty De La Cruz, very strong blocker for Omaha. Tori Dixon's laid and strong kill cross court.
Back to De La Cruz, hardly ever gets blocked. Hits a lot of high flat. Very, very smart. That ball's off the floor by Nuneviller. Good first contact by Kathy, and quickly to the outside again. And then away from Nuneviller and Kendall White, which is not easy to do. 2 outstanding defenders.
And for Grand Rapids, they're getting Claire Chaussee isolated one-on-one on that left pin, and she has the advantage every time if they can get that matchup.
Chaussee already 3 kills. Talked about the middle. How important is it to have balance, and how much more difficult it is to defend against a team when you got 5 attackers that can make things work?
Well, for Omaha, their middles are trending up, and you want that at this time of the year. It just holds the middle blocker on the other team and really stresses them, so they have to honor them defensively, and then it opens up kills for your pins on the outside.
Perfect pass by Pritchard. To give you the passing numbers so far for Grand Rapids, their percentage of perfect or good pass is outstanding. That got a piece of the block. And yeah, that is going to be called by the first referee, and a nice kill. Nicely done by number 5, Brooke Nuneviller. Talked about her career at Oregon. She's the only Pac-12 player in the conference's history with 1,500 kills and 2,000 digs. There have been a few pretty good players who have gone through the Pac-12.
Those are good numbers.
Look at Nuneviller again, got her hand on that. She is a pro's pro. She got her game face on at serve and pass this morning, and she hadn't taken it off yet. Very, very solid competitor. And
what was impressive was she was going right. The ball went left off a deflection, and she was still able to pop it up. Watch this play here. She's going right, and then left hand sliding under. Almost keeps it alive for Omaha.
Ashley Evans doing a nice job creating tempo to both pins so far, and why not? Perfect or good pass. 78% right now for Grand Rapids. A short-change Chasse. She already has 5 kills on 8 swings. That ball missed down the line and is going to be called out of bounds. Bolt 6 review system. All the line calls are done electronically. See that coming in out of Bolt 6 headquarters in Frisco, Texas. And that part of the Bolt 6 system is not challengeable. You cannot challenge ball in or out. I'll get to the rest of the challenge situation. There's Marin Grote. Johnny on the spot, working on Bethania de la Cruz.
And credit Dimitrova for the tough serve. She's serving into that stack for Omaha on the right side of the court.
Each team gets 2 challenges per set, and if you're correct, you basically have an infinite number. Good service pressure on Dimitrova. Chasse high flat, Gomez tracks it down. What a good set. Beautifully delivered. Underhand set all the way cross court in a perfect spot.
Beautiful transition by Grand Rapids, but it all starts with the surface pressure. They've been able to get Omaha out of system. And then Chasse to the corner.
Chasse off to a brilliant start now, 6 of 9. That's going to be a net violation. That's going to be on Natalia Valentin Anderson, and right now Omaha probably needs a timeout. Dimitrova both attacking and at the service line, very, very solid. 15-10 is the advantage. Remember, most importantly, in the broader scheme of things, both of these teams, they're the 2nd and 4th seeded teams, so they will not play in the semifinals. Samity off to a little bit of a slow start. Evans will track that down. Free ball coming. Omaha really needs it. Brooke Nuneviller wearing number 5. Straight down the line for a much needed kill.
And Brooke Nuneviller is able to hit that quick rhythm set on that left pin. So good for Omaha.
Playoff matchups again are Atlanta versus Grand Rapids. And interesting, both of the semifinals, each team in this first year of the Pro Volleyball Federation, 7 teams in the league who play 24 matches. Each of them is 2-2. Omaha is 2-2 versus San Diego. Atlanta is 2-2 with Grand Rapids. Our second media timeout, and so far Grand Rapids and Marin Grote off to an outstanding start.
Pro Volleyball Federation on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Franklin Sports, a proud partner of the Pro Volleyball Federation on CBS Sports Network.
Back inside beautiful Van Andel Arena here in downtown Grand Rapids. There is Kathy George, 35 seasons as a collegiate head coach. A lot of people don't know this. First woman ever to lead her team to the national semifinals. That was back in 1989 when she was the head coach at University of Texas, San Antonio.
That's a good fact. I think Grand Rapids looks really fresh. They've had 7 days off, and I feel like they're coming in really strong and confident, had some good practices under them.
And their ball control, both in first contact and in defense, has been phenomenal. Over 80% good or perfect pass is otherworldly.
Watch this quick ball out to Erica Pritchard on the pin, and the middle blocker blocking with Grote in the middle, and that creates a one-on-one on the left side for Pritchard.
There is Chaussee passing at 67% good or perfect. And offensively, it's been almost that as well. That's too easy to Nuneviller. Vuchkova, good block deflection. That ball's still alive. Marin Grote on the slide right down the line at Kendall White, who took a solid shot. She's a tough customer, though. She's not going to stay down for long.
Nobody tougher than Kendall White. Watch it, this beautiful Marin Grote goes high down the line, and Kendall White's there with her helmet on, smiles it off. She's fine.
Marin Grote looked over to get you. Are you okay? I'm fine. Come again. Yeah, timeout called by Omaha. You know, you talk about the time off, and that's a difficult thing for players and coaches to handle. Thinking of Todd Dejanay and Atlanta, they've been off. By the time they go to play in the semifinals next Wednesday, they would have been off for 13 days. That is a really, really unusual break in the schedule. Some of it was driven by facility availability. They had to load up on some matches, obviously, earlier in the year, but it's going to be very interesting to see that first semifinal. But
for Grand Rapids, I think it's working in their favor. They've come out really fresh, and they only had to manage 7 days as opposed to 13.
And Amelia Dimitrova, who was bothered by an ankle, looks very, very solid right now. And like Claire Chaussee and the rest of the rise out of Grand Rapids, off to a very, very good start. Marin Grote has been solid all season long. Let's take a look once again at the semifinal matchups. $1 million, winner takes all. $1 million will be decided on Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time. Atlanta taking on these Grand Rapids Rise. And again, they went 2-2 in their 4 meetings, as did Omaha and San Diego. And San Diego was kind of flying under the radar. The first month and a half of the season, they started 2-6. And they've really finished strong. Taiba Hanif Park has done a really good job. And teammate of Brooke Nuneviller, Lindsay Vanderweide, has really been lighting up the league the last couple of matches.
San Diego, one of the hottest teams towards the end of the season. The addition of Willow Johnson and
good point.
And Nutsara Tomcom as the setter, they've been really fun to watch. Samity high off the block, and no one can find it for Grand Rapids.
Vuchkova, who was in that tough collision with Samity earlier on in this opening set. Good block deflection by Vuchkova. It is hard to get the ball to the floor away from Camila Gomez, but that one, she was there, just couldn't control it. Nice off speed by Samity. Stephanie Samity, Big Ten Player of the Year on 2 occasions for Hugh McCutcheon at the University of Minnesota. What does she bring? What does she elevate as far as Omaha is concerned, looking into the playoffs?
1, she can score, and 2, out-of-system balls, they're able to throw it up high to her when they really need to stay in system to Nuneviller. So just another offensive weapon at all times on the court. Has played in Italy, Germany, and most recently in Turkey, and was picked up late in the year because her Turkish team did not make the playoffs, so she was then available. 4-time first-team All-American, as I mentioned, 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year. Nuneviller going off speed, and that is rejected by Kayla Caffey, the middle blocker in white for the Rise, wearing number 28. Fantastic eye work. Kayla Caffey is so good at seeing what the hitter's doing. And this starts with eye work, watching the set and then watching how the hitter comes in and then just throwing that down. Good block deflection again. Nicely done by Caffey at both ends. And Pritchard with the kill. Kayla Caffey, small for a middle blocker at only 6 feet, originally out of Chicago, and a 2022 national champion with the University of Texas. Erica Pritchard attacking over Valentine Anderson. That's advantage to Grand Rapids. That ball out of bounds. A lot of good early success in terms of service pressure, working on Bethania Dela Cruz. And now Brooke Nuneviller taking a little more court as she will go back to serve. Originally from Chandler, Arizona. Been struggling a little bit offensively, just 13 for her last 47. Good tempo again. Boy,
Wasn't Kathy George right when I'm talking about who would play against with Claire Chaussee? Boy, Pritchard looks really good getting back into form after the ACL.
Yeah, she just keeps getting better and better. Look at the physicality going high and hard down that line at Samity.
Back on De La Cruz. Oh, that's such a smart shot, number 18 in blue. Also, congratulations to her on Mother's Day.
Got a lot of moms on the court today, working on Mother's Day.
We will list them all. Her 13, did she say 13 or 14-year-old son?
14.
14-year-old son, Fair Mejia, is the proud son of Bethenia De La Cruz, a two-time Olympian, as mentioned, in 2012 and 2020. And she'll be a three-time Olympian because the Dominican Republic has already qualified for Paris. Erica Pritchard going back to the line. We'll give you her numbers. She is 4 of 9 with 1 error. Chaussee is 6 of 9 with no errors. Samity out of the back. And again. And stopped. Really good block defense in that phase of the game right now for Grand Rapids as they very quickly and easily get to set point.
Claire Chaussee and Kayla Caffey working together to slow down that offense.
Dixon returns the favor. Trying to find some rhythm late, but don't you think the Grand Rapids done a really good job targeting De La Cruz?
They are loading her up and really going after her wherever she is on the court. I mean, who do you serve in the backcourt for Omaha?
Who do you serve in the building right now?
Right?
Yeah, I mean, Kendall White along with Brooke Nuneviller. A rare out-of-system situation for Chaussee, but no problem. Wow, she is absolutely white hot. Claire Chaussee, 7 kills on 10 swings as the opening set goes easily to Grand Rapids.
Omaha served the ball extremely tough. They were able to get Grand Rapids out of system, but Claire Chaussee swings out of trouble, catching the back line for the final point.
Back in beautiful Grand Rapids, and happy Mother's Day to everyone around the country, if not the world. And there's our semifinal matchups. It's coming up 7 Eastern time on Wednesday. The regular season champions out of Atlanta versus these same Grand Rapids Rise, who are obviously playing very well. Second semifinal, the hosts, the number 2 seed Omaha Supernovas, taking on the Mojo out of San Diego. And now we have a very, very special guest. Yes, her name is Jen Spiker, so she is indeed the CEO of the Pro Volleyball Federation. First ever match in the league was on January 24th.
Yes, it was.
Has it been absolutely a whirlwind since, as you're looking forward to the first ever semifinals and finals?
I said to my family today as we were on our way over here from Detroit, I said, I cannot believe we are finally here. It's amazing that we did it without any cancellations of weather, especially, you know, playing in Grand Rapids, and it's been amazing.
In terms of growth, where have you seen the most growth since January 24th?
I think in attendance. You know, our attendance has been fantastic, and it's getting better in each and every one of our cities. I think the ladies are playing better, right? They're more gelled. They were kind of thrown together with a 3-week training camp, and I think that the level of play, the parity of this league has been absolutely amazing. And it's a testament to the number of matches that are so close.
What have been some of the benchmarks that you've taken note of? And anytime there's no model. It's the first time it's ever been done, so there must have been some incredible challenges that you had to overcome, particularly early on in the season. But for us, as outsiders, we helicopter in. It's been very, very seamless, and I couldn't agree with you more about the level of play. 4 teams have made the playoffs. The 3 that didn't were not easy outs.
No, they weren't. And I think the biggest excitement for us was in the first week. We had 3 matches, and that attendance, paid attendance, was over 25,000. So that just tells you that you've got a tiger by the tail. Well, you've got a product that people want to see.
Paul and I have been really impressed with the level of play, and I agree, it continues to get better. We're seeing it tonight.
Yep, yep. I mean, these ladies are balling, and they're bringing it, and they're going to bring it to Omaha.
And speaking of Omaha, $1 million.
Yes, sir.
Winner takes all. I asked a silly question a couple of weeks ago. What does the runner-up get?
Nothing.
Nothing. So what are your thoughts about how the semifinals and finals will be received in Omaha? They've been leading the league by quite a lot. Although the crowd here is wonderful, and it has been in Columbus, it's been in virtually every city. But Omaha, pretty good choice for the first ever championship.
You know, the people in Nebraska, they're just crazy for volleyball. And, you know, this particular building is fantastic because it's smaller and it feels like everybody's on top of you. So whether there's 6,000 or 8,000 or 4,000, it feels like there's 10,000. But I think the championships are going to be fantastic. The first 2 matchups, each of them split.
Yeah.
I love it.
And, you know, going in.
Parity again.
Yeah. They've each split the 2 and 2, each of those matchups. So it's anybody's game, and whoever wins is taking home $1 million.
Incredible, right? I mean, I cannot wait. You said Saturday's sold out.
Yeah, well, we're going for a sellout. We're getting there. We're getting there.
We'll get there.
The challenges next year of adding 3 more teams.
The challenge for right now is making it fair and making sure that the players that are playing in here, if they want a chance to reset and go to Indianapolis or Kansas City or Dallas, are allowed to do that. And so as soon as the season's over, we're going to start talking to players, and pretty much it's that they've all signed a 1-year contract. They can go anywhere next year. It just depends on the coach and the city and the amount of money that they're going to get.
The job you've done, the job the players and the coaches and all of the individual owners, I mean, it can't be more complimentary of everybody's effort and what they've pulled off. And also, let's point out, it's an Olympic year.
It is.
So, the sport will be focused, as it has been, not only indoors but on the beach, so that's got to even be greater impetus.
Yeah, I've got a team, our league team has worked very, very hard. Our owners have worked hard, our players and our coaches, and I couldn't be happier with the result. None of us could be happier with the result, and it's all culminating next week in Omaha.
You know, our fine crew, it's been wonderful working for the group at CBS Sports Network, and it breaks it down. You talked about 2 and 2 and the semifinals again. San Diego, kind of, and I mentioned this with Holly, kind of under the radar early because they started 2 and 6 and they had a very unique schedule. But Taiba Hanif Park has really pulled that team together, and they're deep and they have options, and don't overlook San Diego in the semifinals at all. They're
on a roll, and she's done a phenomenal job with that team. They did struggle early. They struggled because they were in the gym later than everybody else. They had to get used to some of their setting, but now they're on a roll, and don't count them out. I mean, they're coming for it. They're coming to win.
In Grand Rapids, I mean, after 7 days, they are fresh and playing their best ball of the season right now. Pritchard is healthy. This is a fun matchup.
Well, and Holly, you and I talked about before first serve that these two teams kind of had different agendas vis-a-vis with this match because the seeding isn't going to change. It's set for the semifinals. But we've already seen that from Omaha. After Grand Rapids came out on fire and easily took the opening set, now Omaha is making some rather predictable substitutions and make sure that they get their big guns ready for Wednesday.
Definitely. Rest is imperative, but getting other players ready to go, too, if they need them.
Well,
I think that Grand Rapids tonight is a little bit fueled by Emmy's retirement ceremony, which was fantastic.
It really was.
And on Mother's Day, I found out, because there are two Bulgarian athletes competing here this afternoon or early this evening in Grand Rapids, one for Omaha and one for the aforementioned Grand Rapids, that Mother's Day in Bulgaria is on March 8th.
Okay.
Just wanted you to know that.
So she gets to celebrate, too, because she's living here right now. Mothers should celebrate.
Really good start by Claire Chassé, and Erica Pritchard has really added some pop to this lineup for Grand Rapids. Tied at 6. Joining us now, our very special guest, Jen Spiker. And I joked a little bit when we first came on, but with a name like Spiker, you obviously found your way to the right line of work.
I did. I also played, but I married into that name, so I'm going to have to play Ken.
There you go. Okay. So there's the disclaimer. You did marry into it.
Yes.
Lots of new faces for Omaha.
Got Paige Briggs out on the floor now, along with others. Allison Mayfield is out there as well.
Maggie Cartwright as well.
Yeah. The teams are deep. That's what's impressive as well. You know, you think when you start a pro league and you're drafting and you want not just star power, but star players like a Chassé or like a Brooke Nunaviller, among others. But when you look down this roster and you talk to the coaches, you go, wait a minute. We have buttons we can push. Jen, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having Holly.
Holly and I along for the ride, and we'll see you in Omaha.
We'll see you in Omaha next week.
$1 million in prize money will be decided. I can't wait to say that. $1 million point.
It's a $1 million match.
And then I'm just going to be quiet. But that never happens. We'll step aside. Jen, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Semifinals and finals coming up in Omaha right here on CBS Sports Network next Wednesday and Saturday. Final match of the regular season before the playoffs, and Grand Rapids up 1-0 and 8-6 here in the second. Want to remind everybody, Tuesday night at 9 Eastern, catch up with the women of We Need to Talk as they sound off on the top sports storylines around the globe right here on CBS Sports Network. So I didn't get to say with three-time Olympian Holly McPeak because I was giving you some love on Mother's Day. So back with my partner, Holly McPeak. I'm Paul Sunderland here in Grand Rapids, and it has been the rise very impressively so far. Briggs out of Western Kentucky is Doug. Sydney Hilly, former setter of the year and national champion at the University of Wisconsin, on the floor. Mayfield is slowed. Briggs quickly out of the back row. Oh, that's a good block deflection. Vučkova getting her hands on that. Good to see her back or in the match still after that tough collision. Claire Chassé.
Omaha extending the rally, but Grand Rapids has had all the answers and oftentimes ending with Claire Chassé. This one, quick out of the back row, catches Paige Briggs by surprise.
There is Ashley Evans back to serve, #1 in the league at 10.9 assists per set. 6 years a pro out of the Purdue University, former Boilermaker. Good bump set in transition. Very, very accurate indeed. Mayfield out on the left, and Briggs. It is tough to get the ball to the floor. Isn't it indeed? Vučkova with her first stuff block one-on-one against Chassé.
You mentioned it in an earlier rally, but Vučkova for Omaha makes such fantastic defensive touches. This is one-on-one. Gets that crossbody from Chase. Fantastic eye work to press over and take that away.
Vučkova among the league leaders in terms of total blocks with 66 so far, 5 of 11 in her last contest. That was a 3-0 win over Columbus. Well, good block on the outside. Really nicely done by number 15, Allison Mayfield. Haven't seen too much of her. 6'1" out of Overland Park, Kansas. An experienced pro now, 8 years playing as a professional.
And Coach Bird said, look, she's got a cannon of an arm. She's a veteran. Look at her seal that line. Big left hand press back into the court.
Tough chance here out of the back row, not there. Nice dig by Evans in the right back. Oh, that's so smart. 17 years a pro. Emilia Dimitrova turned pro at the age of 16, throwing that ball smartly off the edge of the block.
She is so smart. This ball comes a little bit inside, and she just works off that outside hand tool in the block.
Dimitrova now 3 kills on 8 swings. Chase leading the way in double figures, 10 kills on 18 swings. That's a good swing down the line.
Sophie Davis running that slide set for Omaha. So many good players coming off the bench right now for Omaha, getting some reps.
Davis, 6'2", out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Played at James Madison, and we should wish her a happy birthday. We're happy for everybody today. Mother's Day. It's her birthday today.
All right.
Nice pass. Paige Briggs, and a really smart shot. Nicely done that time. 2 very, very good setters out here. Natalia Valentine Anderson, who is the #1 setter right now on this Omaha team, but Sydney Haley, an awfully capable backup.
Sydney Haley, one of the best in the game, and they had a very healthy setter battle for that position, and both of them have strengths, according to head coach Bird Kuhn.
Why did Natalia eventually win the spot?
She just, the way she competes, she makes plays and makes those around her better.
11.
Defense is fantastic, too. Really incredible to watch.
Pritchard has been so good one-on-one. And we've got to give Ashley Evans, the setter for Grand Rapids, some props here. She is really setting a nice opening set and then into this with a 12-10 lead. Lots of one-on-ones.
And isolating Dimitrova on the left side, she is tough to stop one-on-one.
The serve reception has been absolutely superb off the edge of the block by Briggs and out of bounds. That will be a point possession inside out coming to Omaha.
Paige Briggs hits a fastball on that left side pin, a little bit undersized, more similar to Brooke Nundeviller's game.
Dimitrova going deep. Really good block touch that time by Grote. Briggs going high, flat. Gomez flying around. And finally getting the ball to the floor. Vučkova able to put that ball away.
Coach Bird Kuhn of Omaha said, look, we want to see as much middle as we can. We want to keep using those. And sometimes we go away from it. We have to remind ourselves, especially at the end of a long rally.
I have the numbers. The middles, the last couple of matches for Omaha have been much more involved and much more effective.
Ashley Evans, beautiful setter dump for Grand Rapids.
New libero on the floor as well. Gabby Thompson, formerly Gabby Curry, national champion at the University of Kentucky, 3 times SEC Libero of the Year. Look down the resumes of these teams, and you go deep into the bench for Omaha or even for Grand Rapids. There are a lot of players out here that really are top flight. Chase back once again as that ball is missed out of bounds off the right side. Very easy serve. Oh, what a block. Erica Pritchard one-on-one, really impressive.
Grand Rapids, they just look fresh, fired up, and they are playing well as a team. Look at Erica Pritchard get out there one-on-one. She just shuts that down. Maggie Cartwright on the right side.
Briggs, heavy arm, and Gomez cannot control that. Mila Gomez took over from Sarah Sponsel at the libero position some time ago. And that has been a seamless adjustment. Gomez is one of the very, very best in the business out of Cali, Colombia. And right into the campfire. Nicely done. That's a throwdown over the top of the block. And right now, Grand Rapids is in system seemingly about 70% of the time, which leads to some pretty good offense. We'll step aside. Second media timeout. Grand Rapids up 1-0. And 16-13 here in the second. Once again, all the love and respect to the mothers around the country. A lot of them in attendance today. Once again, congratulations to my partner, Holly McPeak, mother of Leonardo. Grand Rapids on top, 16-13. Ashley Evans is having a very, very good match so far. Racking up the assists because her receivers are just dropping the ball right on top of her head.
And she leads this league in assists.
Perfect pass by Briggs, and quickly out of the back row. Nicely done. Allison Mayfield, 6'1", as I mentioned, out of Overland Park, Kansas. I'll tell you, these gyms, one of the reasons why these teams are playing at such a high level, their gyms are competitive.
Well, right now for Omaha, we're seeing part of the B side, and that's what makes the A side go. All great teams have that strong B side.
Good block deflection, probably go out of the back row. Briggs, and Briggs is blocked. Evans along with Kayla Caffey.
We always talk about Kayla Caffey being undersized, but she is a fantastic blocker. Hands over the net.
Oh, that's a good swing. Really good receive, and then finishing the thing off once again for Allison Mayfield. Talked about the challenge system and how good it has been throughout the course of the league. The owners really stepped up with Bolt 6 because it didn't come cheap. You can't challenge in or out. You can challenge a touch off a blocker. You can challenge foot fault on the serve, foot fault on the 3-meter line, also center line. Really good first contact, no block up. And that ball tapped down out of the middle. Nicely done by number 24, Sophie Davis.
And what a set by Sydney Hilly. She was front row, so she was able to go and get that ball on the plane to set her middle, Sophie Davis. Watch this ball here. Just a tip, and then tight ball, one-hand set. Well done.
Might want to go someplace else other than Chaussee. She's passing it about 70% perfect. But who are the targets? Gomez is rock solid, and Erica Pritchard has been really, really good as well in reception, wearing number 5 in white. There's Kayla Caffey.
When Omaha was serving earlier, they're serving a lot of 1-2 seam.
Still working on Chaussee. And Pritchard, a couple of unforced errors now getting into the resume of Grand Rapids. They were almost perfect in the opening set, winning at 25-16. Have a challenge for a touch off of the block. Grand Rapids will contend or challenge that ball from Erica Pritchard, the off speed, did catch a piece of the block. If that's the case, we would replay the point. Devaney McCarty is the first referee. She's being assisted by Michelle Prater. And because all the lines are generated, or all the line calls are generated electronically, there are no lines people. Disappeared from tennis as well, and I'm fine for it. Yeah, almost all the challenges. I mean, still collegiately, it seemingly touches for sure, but the challenges come on in or out, and that's just not part of the situation in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Nice to have Jen Spiker on. When I met her for the first time, I kind of, really? Talk about karma. But then I mean, I knew she had married into it, but I appreciate that clarification.
Still an appropriate name.
Yeah. Again, each team gets 2 challenges per set. If you are correct on your challenge, right now Kathy George is contending that that ball from Pritchard touched a piece of the Omaha block.
Possibly did off the top of the tape into the block of Omaha.
Wow, that's close. It's got to be definitive. It's got to be not 99%. It's got to be 100%. The call live was that there was no touch. So, but now that they've corrected it, that is a block touch. So the point will be replayed. And Grand Rapids still maintains or retains their 2 challenges. So good use of the challenge. Vučkova back to serve. I mentioned the number of mothers. Her son's name is Risto. She is Ristina Vučkova. The other mothers are Jess Shaban Landsman. Haven't seen her yet. Her son's name is Jace. Alyssa Jensen has a 1-year-old daughter named Ella. And Emilia Dimitrova, who we talked about, she and her husband Denis Dimitrov have 4-year-old Michaela. Keeping it on Chaussee, and has been very much up to the task. That is a rip by Dimitrova into the cross court, nicely dug. And again, and dug again. Davis doing good work in area 1. That's the right back. And that ball missed out of bounds. Dimitrova, much like her counterpart, Bethenia Dela Cruz, hitting errors are very, very rare.
Interesting that Ashley Evans went 3 balls in a row back to Dimitrova.
Well, really good first contact by Kayla. It was one-on-one. Yeah. The choice was there. That's an unforced error by Dimitrova. Still on Chaussee. Gomez takes control of the free ball. Back row quick combination. Really, really good timing. I know that there are some second team players on the floor, but really good players for Omaha. But you just look at the Grand Rapids side, they look really good.
They do. They're dialed in. I'd still like to see them set more middle, but Claire Chaussee playing fresh, finding that corner.
Chaussee now with 12 kills, leading the way. Mayfield off the edge of the block and down. Sydney Hilly will go back to the line and serve. What a career she had at Wisconsin. Won a national championship a couple of times, was Big Ten Setter of the Year.
We tracked that. We were going to dig it, but it's out.
We were tracking it.
Chaussee high and hard off those hands.
13 kills. 13 kills on 21 swings, 1 error, hitting almost 600.
You talk about the good first contact for Grand Rapids. I'd love to see them run more middle, get their middles more involved. I mean, you know Chaussee is going to score, but create some opportunities for some of the other players.
Sarah Sponsel, really outstanding all-around volleyball player, both indoors and on the beach. Back to serve, started her career at Loyola Marymount. There she is with a bump set. Chaussee, a rare mistake, just did not get good contact on that ball, and it floated out of bounds. Claire Chaussee, 6 feet tall, out of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. ACC Player of the Year, first team All-American. Last year played for Macerata, one of the top teams in Italy. Still on Chaussee, and up to it, passing and receiving. That ball off the edge of the block smartly and out of bounds. I wonder, I mean, Chaussee, her game continues to grow, but being able to watch Dimitrova and the things she does to score is very, very interesting.
Claire Chassé having to pass and then work for this ball, tooling it off the block.
Paige Briggs has got a big-time arm, number 13, only 5'10", from Ortonville, Michigan, three-time All-American at Western Kentucky, the number 5 overall pick by Orlando before she was traded to Omaha. Here's Davis. Pritchard is rock solid as well. I'll update you on the serve reception numbers. I'll do that for you right now. With that perfect pass, or good pass, if you will, Grand Rapids up over 60%. When I say that, what's a good number? What's an exceptional number? And also to the downside, what's a bad number?
Well, I would say over 55 is really good. And then I would say probably below 50, not so good.
Oof, Paige.
I mean, wow. She hit such a fast ball, and good isolation by Sydney Hilly to that left pin.
On the other side, Omaha, perfect or good pass at 45%. Two really good setters, Hilly and Valentine Anderson. Almost every serve going to Chassé.
But don't you think Grand Rapids is a little pin heavy?
They are pin heavy. I agree with you. Mayfield, beautiful play. After the dig by Gabby Thompson. Allison Mayfield on the pipe.
Incredible range out of the back row.
23-21. That ball was way in. And again, you cannot. You can try, and some coaches have before they got used to the system, but you cannot challenge ball in or out.
Grand Rapids is challenging that there was an attack line fault on the last play.
Devaney McClarty once again is mic'd in the building, and we could clearly hear it. Not challenging in or out because you can't do it, but you can challenge foot fault on the 3-meter line. Wow, look at that.
I love Bolt 6.
Oh, it's,
I mean, game changer.
Really, really a good system. And we've talked about it. Look, both of us do a lot of college volleyball as well. There are 330 Division I programs, and Bolt 6, look, we know the numbers. It's $175 per team. And so there are very few universities around the country. Smartly done by Ashley Evans.
And Ashley Evans felt the block pressure and just went off the outside of it. Really nice decision on that type pass.
See, there would be any number of programs around the country, Texas, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska, that could afford Bolt 6. But it has to be a similar and fair system that everyone can access. And so it's a bit of time in coming for college volleyball, because that can really be a challenging system sometimes, because the frames per second is just not what it needs to be. Vuchkova with the kill off the slide, and Briggs will go back to serve. Second set, and a very nice bounce back by Omaha. Went to their bench, and they're playing very well. Claire Chassé, number 9, just absolutely ripping, and very impressed with Evans.
Me too. I think Grand Rapids is just playing their best ball of the season, and it starts with that first contact. Gomez putting it right in her setter's hands, and then Chassé with the power from the back court.
Off speed, and that's rejected. There's going to be a net violation. Yeah, I thought so for sure. Allison Mayfield dropped that tip a little bit short, and so there will be a challenge from Bird Kuhn, and Omaha challenging that there was a net violation against Grand Rapids.
Kayla Cathy again trying to swat that ball.
It was right in front of us, Holly, and I think this will be upheld. I think this is a net violation. So we will have another challenge, and once again, you get 2 per set, and as long as you were correct, you basically have an infinite number.
Omaha is challenging a net touch on the last play.
Watch the right hand of Cathy.
Yep, yep.
Little finger touch there.
Yep, that is a net violation. That's really good work by our crew and the folks in Frisco at Bolt 6. So there will be a net fault. And set point on that call, that reversed call, will be not given, but granted to Omaha, and rightfully so. They take the second set 25-23, and some players, Gabby Thompson, Sophie Davis, Paige Briggs, along with Sydney Hilly, came off the bench for Bird Kuhn in Omaha. Showed you why they're the #2 overall seed. This is a deep team, and we're tied here in Grand Rapids at 1 set apiece. More to come right after this on the CBS Sports Network.
Happy Mother's Day. Enjoy the game and go Rise.
Hi fans, rise above and take them back.
Back in Grand Rapids, the Rise and the Supernovas now tied at 1 set apiece. Thursday night at 9 Eastern, your favorite backyard sport turns pro as they up the ante for some top-tier tossing. Don't miss the Las Vegas High Rollers as they face the Texas Bully Baggers in the American Cornhole League Team Championship right here on CBS Sports Network. Take a look at the stats after a couple of sets.
But in that last set, Omaha hit 390. And that's the B team, right? I mean, this is how good these teams are in the depth that we're seeing from the bench.
And we should clarify, and we appreciate our crew putting this together. Those hitting percentages, those are kill percentages. It's much too high. The efficiency for the match, I'll get that to you. The efficiency, 260 right now for Grand Rapids as far as hitting efficiency, which is kills minus errors divided by attempts. And Omaha just outstanding at the other end offensively, particularly as you pointed out in that second set. Teams have changed sides. It's the only side change that takes place in the PVF. You don't change after every set. You change once after the second set, and you do not change sides if we play a 5th set tiebreaker. Collegiately, teams change sides at 8 in the 5th set. Briggs out of the back row again. Lots of good arms on the floor right now. Again, hitting 390 in that second set.
Incredible for Omaha that they've got those kind of players that can score right off the bench.
Omaha on the year, to put in perspective how good that 390 is, on the year they're averaging 223, which is second best in the league behind only Atlanta. Grand Rapids hitting 219 so far on the year. They're second and third respectively. third set here in Grand Rapids. Another very good crowd on hand. We had our special guest, Jen Spiker, the CEO of the Pro Volleyball Federation, and Kayla Caffey.
I want to see more of that.
Exactly.
We know the pins can score. Get the middles going. We're heading into the playoffs, trying to win $1 million. Let's get everyone firing.
And passing at 61% good or perfect. That's a lot of opportunities to get the ball into the middle.
Wow, how about that ball? Sydney Hilly to Mayfield on the left side. Dimitrova late getting her feet there and didn't put up a block.
Just Shaban Landsman on the floor now, 6'2". Outside hitter out of Defiance, Iowa, three-time All-American at Iowa State before transferring to LSU. I mentioned that she, too, is one of our very happy and proud mothers. Her young son is named Chase. And I forgot to mention, but Gina Mancuso-Prasowski is the first PVF player to be expecting.
And due in July.
And due in July. Shaban Landsman able to get that ball away from Kayla Caffey. Again, these two teams, if you weren't with us for the beginning of this 5-set match, if it goes that far, I should say, have qualified for the semifinals and a chance to win that $1 million in prize money. Winner takes all. Atlanta, the #1 overall seed, will take on the #4 seed Grand Rapids Rise. And Omaha, the Supernovas, will take on San Diego. The Mojo, nice play by Chase off the edge of the block. Chase now 17 kills on 25 swings.
And we're just at the beginning of the third set. Grand Rapids leaving all their starters in. They've had 7 days off, so they're fresh and ready to compete.
Well, and we talked about it, Holly, and you were absolutely right in what you had to say when I posed the question. The situation isn't going to change no matter what happens in this match, but they're entering it certainly with different priorities. Chase uses her arms to really good effect to get off the floor. Pritchard, timing not perfect. Neither was that set. That's going to be a setting error. A rare mistake by Sydney Hilly, and she knows it. Looking for #10, Shaban Landsman out on the right side.
What a rally, though, and the defensive hustle by Claire Chase to pick that ball up all the way across the floor from the left side.
You know, like Brooke Nuneviller, Claire Chase does tremendous work when she's not in between contacts. I mean, really working to get in good position defensively, really working to get in good position as a blocker.
Paige Briggs working the outside of the block down the line for Omaha. Offensive power by everybody on Omaha. They've been able to score at will.
Look what Briggs is doing. 6 kills on 14 swings. Allison Mayfield, 6 kills on 13 swings. I'll tell you, if you're Bird Kuhn, you are just salivating because you know if something doesn't go quite right, even for a brief period of time next week at the semifinals, you have lots of answers sitting over on the sideline.
Well, I'm guessing she sees this every day at practice.
Indeed, you're exactly right. Nice tip, Sydney Hilly. Solid size setter at 6 feet tall, wearing #2 in the blue uniform for Omaha. I mentioned it before, but I wanted to make sure and clarify, 3 times the Big Ten setter of the year. Last time I looked, the Big Ten was a pretty good conference.
The best.
Pritchard is blocked. Both Pritchard and Chase got off to very, very good starts, but Pritchard slowed here.
Buchkova, incredible. She's second in the league in blocks per set, but she has been so impressive tonight, especially one-on-one.
Pritchard now 6 of 24, does have 4 errors. 2 balls out, 2 balls blocked. Another perfect pass. What a rocket off the left side, but no touch. Looking for Grote.
Mayfield
on the inside.
Coach, there was a touch.
Allison Mayfield has got a really, really good arm.
And Coach Bird Kuhn told us that she's a veteran, experienced.
You only have 8 seconds to challenge.
I was going to say, that 8 seconds is gone.
Yeah. There's a pad over on each team's sideline, and after every play, it lights up for 8 seconds. And then in 8 seconds, it is disabled.
Looks like
Omaha is challenging.
So unless that there was some communication requesting in the allotted amount of time, that seemed to be outside the 8 seconds. But again, it's not up to the officials. It's all done by algorithm. I mean, the pad is disabled. but they're going to allow this challenge. The challenge was a touch off the block. Allison Mayfield, 2.3 kills per set when she's had an opportunity to play, hitting 231. Really, really solid player. And experienced, I mentioned it before, 8 years as a pro. In this matchup between Grand Rapids and Omaha, this is the only team in the league that Grand Rapids, yeah, there's a touch. You can see, watch, look at that. Look at the way they go in on the fingers.
Incredible.
Yeah, there's no net touch, but there is a touch off of Grote's inside hand.
Left pink.
Yeah, really, really good swing.
I mean, impressive.
Still working on Chaussee, really making her put up. Oh, what a dig. Brilliant stretch that time by Gabby Thompson. Gomez will track that down. That ball is very hittable. Dimitrova decides to stay down. Not a good first contact. Shaban Landsman is slowed. Good block touch. Look at Chaussee. Really good ball control. And Grote off the edge of the block and down, but give an assist to Claire Chaussee.
Mary Grote has been doing such nice defensive work side to side. One of the best servers for Grand Rapids as well.
Mentioned Grote having a really, really good year. I'll get you to her numbers as she goes back to serve. Having a very good early evening. Nice shot down the line by Vuchkova. Maren Grote is now 5 of 8, hitting 620. Make it 6 of 9, hitting 670, no errors. So a couple of the middles really starting to heat up a little bit as you called for, Holly. We'll step aside. First media timeout, Omaha. And Grand Rapids tied at 1 set apiece with the Supernovas leading 8-6. She is 25 of her last 44 with no errors. She's 8th in the league in hitting efficiency, 3rd in the league in blocks, and 6th in the league in aces. She has had a tremendous year.
And she's had 5 matches hitting over 400. One of the best servers on the team as well. Just all-around game for Maren Grote.
You know, we talked about the semifinals and finals coming up, but also on that championship weekend, there'll be the MVP announced. There'll be the outstanding player at each and every position. So a lot of money will be paid as well. $15,000 to the MVP, $7,500 for each award winner at each individual position. And it's not going to be easy. We mentioned earlier, and we've talked about it, Leah Edmond is having a phenomenal year. She's the front runner right now for the MVP, but who else do you put in that conversation?
Gosh, both you and I like Marlie Montserrat, but today I say Claire Chaussee. I mean, she does it all. She had a little bit of a lull earlier in the season, but she's been really impressive. And I know you like Morgan Hentz, who's an incredible player on the defensive end. And she helps Atlanta stay in system.
Morgan Hentz is the only player in the league that takes away swaths of real estate. Hentzville. You cannot hit the ball to what we call Area 5, which is in the left back and most of Area 6 when Morgan Hentz is there. She's a tremendous receiver, and she just makes plays that, quite frankly, nobody else in the game does. And I mean nobody else in the game on the planet. She'd been spending the last couple of weeks training with the U.S. Olympic team. Head coach Karch Girai in Anaheim, and has a real chance to make that team.
Watch Chasse on the Bic. This is the back row quick step behind that 3-meter line, and she's hitting for a high percentage out of the back row.
Toughest team to make in the world, the United States Women's Olympic team. So many talented players. We saw something recently about the 8 leading candidates, 8 leading candidates for the 4 outside hitting spots.
Incredible.
Dimitrova, high up off the hands, nice stab. Good hustle that time by Hilly. None of these teams in the entire league have any quit in them. They really, really pursue.
Sydney Hilly went right into the front row to save that ball. Love it.
Here is Caffey. Tip read nicely, Chasse. Like to rethink that one. Good first contact. Missed out of the middle. The opportunity was there, but that one missed.
I like the idea. Get Davis involved in transition. One-on-one, and that one just too low.
Marginally. Yeah, it had some air underneath it, but the connection just not quite there. An unforced error. Omaha on top 12-11. I'm mentioning once again that Grand Rapids, including Atlanta, has beaten every team in the league except Omaha. They lost the first 3 meetings, and so many of the sets, you go back and look, 33-31, 30-29. It has not been by any shape of the imagination dominated by Omaha, but they came out on top all 3 times. Dimitrova again off of Briggs and out of bounds, but again, creating another one-on-one situation.
Ashley Evans doing a fantastic job for Grand Rapids, and it helps that that first contact, both in serve, receive, and defense, is setting her up for that.
I haven't given you Dimitrova's numbers in a while. She got 6 kills on 22 swings. Good rhythm to the outside. Really good serve reception, and then that ball smattered down the line. Shaven Landsman, bolt 6 again, showing you on the line. Shaven Landsman with a stab, free ball coming to Grand Rapids. Wrote on the slide, good block deflection, but that'll be nullified, a net violation.
And that time, Dimitrova with a good first contact off the free ball. She does it all. She's locked in, she's coaching up her team every single play for Grand Rapids.
2.9 digs per set for Dimitrova. They're the leading point scorer in the league. Nice save. Shaven Landsman flying on Mother's Day. Very nice kill by number 10.
And she's battled some back injuries, but now strong, feeling good. And look at this attack. This is an out-of-system play that Sydney Hilly is able to pop up for her.
Chasse just nails in serve reception right now. And Pritchard, speaking of nails that one straight down the line, number 5 in white.
Grand Rapids looking good, answering a lot of questions in my mind heading into the playoffs.
Really impressed with their serve receive and also block defense. Nice play. Sydney Hilly going aggressively, ball right on top of the tape and taking things into her own hands as Vučkova will go back to serve. Vučkova played most recently in China, where she was voted that league's, and it's a good one, that league's most outstanding blocker. 1 point away from the second media timeout. And you see, a little payback and a little trash talk between the 2 outstanding setters, both out of the Big Ten.
Perfect.
Watch after, watch. Yeah.
little chatter right there, but it starts with the perfect pass by Gomez.
Hilly out of Wisconsin and Ashley Evans out of Purdue. One back row to another, and that by Briggs. Really good delivery once again on the pipe for the transition score for Paige Briggs. And we've come to the media timeout, tied at a set apiece. Omaha on top. Good crowd here once again. in Grand Rapids on top 16-15.
This time in transition, Paige Briggs hitting that big set, rattling it through the Grand Rapids block for the point.
Mental wellness and to support family, friends, and people in our communities on their journey. We're proud to declare that mental health is health. I agree with that. I agree with that. A lot of people really struggle with depression and especially, you know, there's a lot going on in our country and in the world, and a lot of people really struggle with it.
And I think talking about it helps. That's the first step.
And we know we've talked an awful lot. We had a good time. Morgan Hens is just a tremendous player. But we talked about the difficult task for Karch Kirai to narrow his roster to 13 players this time, not 12, because he does get one alternate in case of injury. And Justine Wong-Orantes, at the Tokyo Olympic Games, she was voted the most outstanding libero. So as complimentary and as much as we admire Morgan Hens, there's no guarantee that she's going to be in Paris. Justine Wong-Orantes, I had the great pleasure of covering the Tokyo Olympics, and she was a big question mark going in. By the fourth match, no more questions. No more questions. She was outstanding. Jordan Larson, you remember, was the MVP, and the United States won their first ever Olympic gold medal over Brazil, 3-0. Here's Pritchard, tied at 16. Oh. That is such a good arm once again by Mayfield.
And Sydney Hilley delivered a beautiful set. I mean, this is a player who battled all season long for that starting spot. She is elite.
Well, we talked about Natalia Valentin Anderson, who is the lead setter for Omaha. But what a tough decision for Bird Kuhn. They're both outstanding.
And now we're seeing the rest of their players are outstanding too and can step in at any time.
Could see why Omaha was the second best team in the league, behind only Atlanta at 16-7 on the regular season. They'll be the #2 overall seed. And look at their resume. I've got their resume against the other teams that will make it to the semifinals. That's a perfect set. Perfect delivery, good footwork once again, and I know as a former All-American setter and national champion at UCLA, you admire that from Hilley.
I do. I love watching Sydney Hilley set. It's beautiful. She keeps them in system, and Paige Briggs likes it fast to that pin, and Hilley gives it to her.
Omaha versus Atlanta, the regular season champion, was 1-3, 2-2 against San Diego, and 3-0 against this Grand Rapids team. Both teams are hitting over 300 in efficiency in this third set. Grand Rapids has gone with their stock lineup, if you will. It doesn't really surprise us. They had lost 3 out of 4. Not sure limp is the right word. I'm trying to find the right description, but they were not exactly on fire as they're headed towards the playoffs and put to good work this 7 days off. Shaven Landsman, very good player on the right side, and until Steph Samity joined the Omaha Supernovas late, she held down that position very, very ably.
And I like the location, attacking between the two defenders deep into that corner. You see the right back defender, and that corner is wide open.
Pritchard with a nice pass, and that's the first time that Maren Grote has been stopped. Vuchkova down the middle with some help.
Vuchkova is so impressive at the blocking end. Wow.
Timeout is called by Grand Rapids. A little mini run here, 4-1 run. for Omaha on top of Grand Rapids. Once again, the semifinals and finals coming up in just a few days' time. Give you the total blocking numbers. 5 blocks right now for Omaha, 4 for Grand Rapids. There is the bracket once again. Atlanta and Grand Rapids, 7 o'clock Eastern time in the opener on Wednesday, followed up by the homestanding Omaha Supernovas. They've been drawing very well all season long against San Diego. We haven't spent a lot of time, Holly, and I'm getting out my notes on San Diego, but they seem to really be the real deal right now. Ronica Stone, very, very good. Kendra Dahlke's been playing well. Ali Bastianelli in the middle has really been coming up. Vanderweide, we talked about that.
And Nutsara Tomkong running the offense. I love her creativity. And even when she can't hand set, she can bump set and in-system play. It's incredible to watch.
Temi Thomas Ilara as well. This San Diego team, again, they got off to a 2-6 start, and they have been really, really good since.
And Ali Bastianelli is the best blocker in the conference statistically right now. I said conference, I mean league.
It's okay. Well, and then talk about Atlanta and the players they've got. Magda Yelasheva, outstanding middle blocker. Leah Edmond, probably the favorite for the MVP. Claire Chasse. I'm really glad you put Chasse into that conversation because she deserves to be there. Lekator member Mena has been probably one of the smallest, biggest surprises in the league at only 5'8".
And Claire Chasse, just a high flyer and quick off the floor. Love what she brings to this Grand Rapids team.
Good dig by Pritchard. Or the level of play next week in Omaha is going to be super high. Dimitrova able to take out the trash, and that's what your opposite needs to do.
Grand Rapids stays patient in that rally. Some good cover plays. Look at Chasse and then Camila Gomez. So good at that second contact in transition for Grand Rapids.
That was such a smart play by Gomez because Chasse had to recover and move a lot to get that first contact, and then she went all the way outside cross court to Dimitrova. Grand Rapids back within 1. Boy, the passing for Omaha has really picked up after a slow start in that phase. This is the second unit on the floor. Vuchkova has that slowed. Briggs again. Gomez flying around. And just missed it out of bounds. You could hear Camila Gomez going high line, high line. Chasse heard her and just missed it. Really good play on both sides, but a big miss by Chasse. And that has not happened very often. 20 kills on 35 swings. Just 2 errors for Chasse. Chip Landsman. Omaha will be the number 2 seed. Pritchard just, and right on the, they called it out of bounds, and Devaney McClarty, the first referee, is in audio communication with the replay folks at Bolt 6, and she's immediately told that ball's out of bounds. It happens that fast. That was not as close as I thought. We're going to have a double sub. Mac Pedraza will come in for Ashley Evans, and Morgan Fingal wearing number 4 back up opposite out of University of Tennessee.
And Morgan Fingal has come off the bench several times when Dimitrova had sprained her ankle, and she's put up some fantastic offensive numbers on the right side.
You surprised by the timing of this?
A little bit.
Yeah, me too.
A little bit, but I do like that Kathy George wants to get these players some playing time.
Pritchard, not a good set that time by Pedraza. Been standing on the sideline for a long while. And that ball missed out of bounds. That is a big break for the Rise. Delivered nicely that time by Hilly, but missed wide by Mayfield. chasse. Debbie Thompson digging that like it was absolutely nothing. Perfect first contact. And smart shot by Morgan Fingal.
Mac Pedraza and Morgan Fingal playing their way into this game. You said it. It's hard to come off the bench and just boom, right into the heat of it.
I'm thinking about young players around the country, if not around the world, watching Claire Chassé, Bethania Dela Cruz, Dimitrova, Brooke Nunaviller, who we only saw briefly. These are players that really, really know how to play the game and play it at a very, very high level. That ball was in.
Paige Briggs, terminal on that left side, catching the back line.
Briggs has been really good since coming off the bench and getting a lot of swings. Briggs has taken 30 swings with 11 kills. Came in, off the top of the tape and down for the aforementioned. Set points now for Omaha, leading at 24-21. There's Brooke Nunaviller, the left of your screen. You see her wearing her Apple Watch. I got the story behind that. I was wrong a couple of weeks ago. Pritchard into the middle. I thought, well, great for Brooke. She's got a big deal. She's got a big deal with Apple. So I went and asked her about it. She said, no, that was a match. I was warming up for the match. I was told I was going to sit that match. So she put her watch back on. But then she had to go out and play. And so she played with it. They haven't lost since. And she hasn't taken it off since.
Well, she needs an Apple deal.
Yeah, I guess. She said, Paul, keep talking it up. You'll talk it into existence.
Okay.
And I'm ace serve. Right into the seam that time between Thompson and number 15 Mayfield. So a couple of set points saved, and mentioned the good serving and wonderful all-around play of Maren Grote.
She came out of University of Washington.
Oof.
They spent hours, and that one just dropped right in the seam.
University of Washington was always known in college volleyball as one of the best serving teams. Jim McLaughlin started that tradition at the University of Washington when they won a national championship in 2005. And then Keegan Cook, who was at Washington for many years, continued on with that high level. You know, it's a closed chain. You control that. That's how you start the point. You start your defense with the ball in your hand. It's very unusual about volleyball.
And I feel like the trend the last 5-6 years, middle blockers, high contact point, taking a lot of pride in their serve.
Asia O'Neal for the University of Texas.
Very good.
Yeah, Asia O'Neal, a fantastic server, scored a lot of points and got Texas ahead in those points. Two-time back-to-back national championships, and Asia O'Neal was playing in Columbus before she was called up by Karch Kirai to join the Olympic team. And I can call it the Olympic team because the United States has already qualified. 7 teams have already qualified. 5 more will qualify based on the world rankings at the end of the soon-to-start VNL for both men and women. The United States men have already named their Olympic team before VNL even started.
I believe.
Yeah, you can go to volleyballmagazine.com or usavolleyball.com and you can see the 13-man roster for John Speraw and the USA men. Set point number 3 for Omaha. And served it out of bounds. Tough serve, tough floater, and drifted just a little bit long, but maybe Grand Rapids got a little bit of momentum towards the end of that 3rd set. But we will head to a break. Once again, Omaha on top, 25-23. They win that set, and most importantly, on top 2-1. Back with more. The CBS Sports Network right after this.
With the University of Michigan Northwest and Orthopedic Associates of Michigan on their team, it's always game on. The region's top lineup of physicians, surgeons, and athletic trainers are teaming up to treat injuries, joint pain, or whatever is holding you back. With decades of experience, this highly skilled team will keep you in the game, whatever your sport.
You know, Holly, this would be a bad loss. Welcome back once again to a beautiful Mother's Day in Michigan, to Grand Rapids, to look at downtown. They've done a wonderful job in this city, in the downtown area. Lots of very, very nice restaurants and walking streets, and been nice for the Omaha Supernovas. They win back-to-back, very tight sets, 25-23, 25-23, and Paige Briggs has been having a busy afternoon after not starting this match.
Really impressive, 11 kills off the bench, and she hits that fast tempo ball, finding space between the block. We saw her out of the back row have success as well for Omaha.
Grand Rapids got off to such a good start. Again, if you're just joining us, Grand Rapids won the opening set 25-16, but they've lost the last two. And you look at Omaha's numbers, they're hitting 310 on the early evening here. And that is almost 90 points above their season average. The total number of kills, blocks, digs. It's been a close couple of sets, but after this point, I want to ask you a question about Grand Rapids. And Hilly misses that just long. Grand Rapids wins the opening set 25-16. And then Bird Kuhn, as we thought they would, Omaha made wholesale substitutions. We know what it's done for Omaha. What do you think happened on Grand Rapids' side?
Trying to figure that out, but Omaha's numbers went way up with their B-side players, not their consistent starters, and I felt like Grand Rapids lost their focus a little bit. And now in this last two sets, they've been going with their bench for Grand Rapids as well.
But, you know, I like this move. Look at the number of subs on the floor now for Kathy George. You've got Pedraza out there.
Everybody but one.
Loman, yes. I think this is so smart, because what it does, it takes all the, oh my gosh, we lost to Omaha's second unit. I think this is really smart psychological coaching. I really like it.
And it's good for these young players to get this kind of competition level.
Morgan Fingal on the floor now, along with Alyssa Jensen. We mentioned Mac Pedraza has taken over at the setting position. And also Simone Abbott, a very, very talented, experienced player, is in the backcourt now. Shannon Scully, nicely dug, good ball control. Out of the middle once again, really, really nicely done. Allison Mayfield, Sophie Davis contributing the kill.
Big cross-body kill, but I like the middle attacks. Use them as much as you can.
Do you agree with me about my analysis of what Kathy George did?
Well, you're probably right.
I just think that was really smart, because, again, we talked about before first serve. I'll finish the thought after this point. Loman in wearing number 34. Good block touch. Free ball coming, Grand Rapids. Scully likes to play. Oh, good block, Shaban Landsman.
Shaban Landsman for Omaha, her hands way over the net quickly for that block stuff.
Remember, we talked about before first serve that these teams would take different approaches, and Grand Rapids had a week off in between matches, but they had lost 3 or 4 coming into this one. And I think Kathy George, a really, really smart move to clear her bench.
Grand Rapids came out and played fantastic the first set. They were dominant. And then the second set, they were just not the same.
Well, we talked about it during the commercial break after the third set. You know, it's just human nature. You gear up for a match, you've lost to them 3 times, and then all of a sudden, because of the scenario, because of the facts that aren't going to change, one team's the number 2 seed, one team's the number 3 seed. So the outcome of this match, like you see in the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, take your pick. It always happens where games just don't impact the standings. So when all of those substitutions were made by Omaha, I think Grand Rapids lost their edge. Shannon Scully wearing number 10, 6'2" outside hitter out of Huntington Beach, California. National champion on the beach, was she not, Holly, in 2022?
She was for USC.
Who did it again. Congratulations to our friend Dane and colleague Dane Blanton. 4 in a row.
4-P.
Wow, wow.
Incredible.
Scully, a good receiver, good ball control player, as you might imagine, with her experience on the beach. Good or perfect pass at 54%.
started her career at Utah, and Beth Lanier, who's had a very long, successful career at Utah, said she has one of the best platforms she's ever seen.
Challenging block touch. Once again, 2 challenges per team per set, as long as you were correct. Keep those challenges throughout. Once again, the semifinal matchup, Atlanta and Grand Rapids, will be the first semifinal at 5:30 Eastern time. Those 2 teams split before regular season meetings, as did Omaha and San Diego, which will play in the nightcap. And then the winners of those 2 semifinals, $1 million, winner takes all, at 4:30 Eastern time on Saturday. You know, we've talked so much, and rightfully so, about the quality of depth that Omaha has shown. But also, I'm really looking forward to, for as long as this lasts, Omaha's leading 2-1. Simone Abbott is really good. Molly Lohman is outstanding, as you talked about, and rightfully so. Morgan Fingal came on when Dimitrova was nicked up and played exceptional volleyball. Saw very little of one of our favorite players, Brooke Nuneviller, so far on the afternoon. Just a pro's pro, and just a young player. Her career is just going to skyrocket. The All-American outside hitter from the University of Oregon, originally from Arizona.
Challenging if there was a block touch by Simone Abbott.
I don't see any.
I don't either.
Shaven Landsman, along with Paige Brooks, Allison Mayfield, Gabby Thompson, Sophie Davis, have all come on and played very, very well.
Although there was no block touch, there was a net fault before the ball hit the ground. Point Omaha.
Interesting. Interesting. So even though the challenge was a block touch, when they were looking at it, there was a net fault on the part of Grand Rapids before the ball hit the floor. Yeah, so that's interesting. The same thing as that, what they do in college is they bundle block touch, net violation, and ball in or out. So looking at one thing but finding another. Off the top of the tape, look at Gomez. That was a spectacular play. What a play by Camila Gomez.
We haven't even talked about Camila Gomez. Played in 2019 for Texas A&M for her opposing team's head coach, Bert Kuhn. So they have a previous relationship, and she is something special. Look at her get on the ground and lift that ball.
Gomez out of Cali, Colombia. That ball missed out of bounds by Vuchkova. I remember doing a match down at Texas A&M when Coach Kuhn was there, and Coach Kuhn really lamented that they only had her for 1 year. And she was spectacular at the collegiate level and now as a pro. Thompson with a pretty good pass and looking high flat, but that ball missed out of bounds. Alyssa Jensen, 6'4" middle blocker out of Holland, Michigan, also played for, speaking of played for former coaches, played for Kathy George for 4 years at Michigan State.
Sydney Hilly doesn't stop.
No,
that's the second time she's ran into the bench or front row to go after a ball.
Molly Lohman back to serve. Number 34, very experienced pro, played at the University of Minnesota. That's a good swing down the line through Alyssa Jensen. Alyssa Jensen wearing number 17, one of our very happy and proud mothers today. She's got a 1-year-old daughter named Ella, so celebrating a special moment. Welcome back once again with three-time Olympian and bronze medalist Holly McPeak. I'm Paul Sunderland. The finale, the last of the first, the finale of the inaugural season of the Pro Volleyball Federation. Jen Spiker, the CEO, was with us after the opening set, and looking forward to the finals and semifinals next Wednesday and Saturday. There's Alyssa Jensen from very nearby Holland, Michigan. I'm told it's about 30 minutes away. Oh, Simone Abbott again. Look at the arms and the players that are on the bench for both of these teams.
We talked about the talent, the depth, but Simone Abbott, perfect pass. And look at her precious angle inside the defense. Wow.
Good read by Abbott. Right side to Fingal, trying to go really, really sharply. And comes up empty. Uchkova back to serve. Third set, Omaha on top, 2-1. Good pass. And Fingal through a seam in the block. Very nice change of direction by Pedraza.
And now that she's felt the rhythm, warmed up, and she puts up a really nice ball to Morgan Fingal on the right side. The rookie out of Tennessee had an impressive collegiate career. Beautiful kill.
Very easy serve, gobbled up by Thompson, but missed out of bounds. And Simone Abbott, the 6'1" outside hitter, an All-American at Northwestern from Northville, Michigan. She's played in Italy, Greece, Puerto Rico, Turkey, and France. Has not played the last 2 matches. So this is really, really good playing time for number 27 leading into the semifinals. And Jensen. Jensen slicing that one off.
Wow, very sharp. Good aggressive mindset, though. This ball pops up tight to the net, and she gets up and how about that hand contact? Wow.
I hope Ella was watching at home, or maybe he's even in the building. Well, that's my mom. Hilly. Jensen again. Fingal got the most of it. You can tell by her body language, she got the most of that one.
Morgan Fingal got out there. Big press over for Grand Rapids.
Timeout called by Omaha. A lot of substitutions playing on the floor, but again, you know, look, we're real. The level of play in this league is very, very high, and even though there's mass substitutions, if you will, to coin a phrase on both sides, the level of play in serve reception, block defense, the setting, outstanding. Look at the two quote-unquote backup setters. Matt Pedraza, setter of the year in the Big Ten. Sydney Hilly, setter of the year in the Big Ten, 3 times.
It's impressive. And then we're seeing offensive firepower on both sides of the net.
Tori Dixon getting a nice afternoon off. CBS Sports celebrates Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Abbott back to the line once again. 2.3 kills per set, 2.2 digs. Hitting percentage not where you would want it with somebody with her ability. At 161 so far on the year. That would need to come up a little bit, and that's probably why she's playing off the bench. Here is Hilly. What a career she had at Wisconsin, helping to lead them along with Dana Retke and so many others to their first ever national championship. Good read by Fingal. Scully playing it very safe. Into the middle again, cross body. Sophie Davis loves the cross body out of the middle attack.
She certainly does. She's had 3 swings, and all 3 have gone in that location. So if you're playing against her, you want to drop that right hand and shut that down, make her go the other way.
The 24 in blue, originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, hit 372 last year at James Madison. Smart shot up into the block and recycle. That ball set a little bit tight. Tough ball to dig. Did not have a lot of true spin on it. Fingal again. against two blockers and tucks that ball down the line.
Incredible heat down the line by number 4 in white, Morgan Fingal. Mac Pedraza changes directions, goes back, and beautiful kill down the line for Grand Rapids.
6'1" lefty, averaging 2 kills per set. Talk about the level of play. And Alyssa Jensen once again with a good service pressure. Fingal was the 4th overall pick. 1,632 kills at Tennessee, 5th all time. Rare shank pass, free ball. No, don't say that, Paul. What a brilliant play by Shaban Landsman. I thought that Omaha was in trouble, but boy, did she read that beautifully to get him back in the point. Abbott can't get on that. That ball dropped right off the table. Really good jump float by number 15, Mayfield.
Fantastic service pressure, serving into traffic. Mac Pedraza, the setter for Grand Rapids, is running right out of that area.
Scully tucks inside, dug by Briggs, very tight to the net. Look at Gomez. Frequent flyer miles.
I was going to say Mother's Day pancake breakfast.
And off the top of the block, Briggs has got a big-time arm.
Nice flat off the block of Lohman.
Oh, we've got a yellow card. That's a warning for being a bad guy or girl, if you will. I didn't see anything. I didn't see what happened. I'm not making light of it. Obviously, somebody said something to the first referee, but I did not see what happened. But she wasn't happy. Devaney McCarty did not like what was said. Fingal will go back to serve on the service error. Dialed up by Omaha. Grand Rapids in a must-win situation to stay alive in this best of 5-set match. Oh, good block deflection, but couldn't track it down. Pedraza on the outside, and then Fingal with the chase. It's been an interesting afternoon. Omaha going to their bench very early. I think it was probably scripted, if you will, what the plan was as far as Omaha was concerned. And I think on the other side, after a very good start once again by Grand Rapids winning the first set 25-16, when all those subs came in for Omaha, I think Grand Rapids is guilty, because I've been guilty of it. I've done it. You lose your edge when the players you were expecting to be competing against are now over on the sideline. There's Brooke Nunaviller, Steph Samity, Tori Dixon.
Betty De La Cruz.
Yep, the list goes on and on. Dug by Hilly. A little bit of confusion on the second contact. Gomez likes to go out of the back row, doesn't she indeed? Simone Abbott. Yeah,
but Gomez was really good at that transition set that time to Abbott in the back row.
We'll step aside. Camila Gomez gets Grand Rapids back on top 16-15. Take another look.
And here you see that second contact, Gomez to Abbott for the kill.
Camila Gomez at only 5'2" is a highlight package, and she's filling the stat sheet, Holly McPeak. She's been served 15 times, which is not a lot because they're avoiding her, and with good reason. 87% either good or perfect, 13 digs, and 4 assists, and you just saw the last one to Simone Abbott. Out of Cali, Colombia, played professionally in Brazil, 3 years in the pro ranks. Good transition set by Pedraza, but outside to Abbott. A little bit low that time. Got to go higher up into the hands.
Especially with Vučkova at the net for Omaha. She's the only starter in the lineup right now for Omaha.
Good first contact. Vučkova on the slide. Abbott is down. So back row again. Fingal off the deflection, dug by Shaban Landsman. Vučkova demanding the ball, and the connection. She was not very happy. The connection was not there, but you got to keep that ball in play.
In transition, you see this dig from Grand Rapids, backside.
Oh, better block. Alyssa Jensen and Mac Pedraza.
And Mac Pedraza at 6'1" is a big setter on the court for Grand Rapids. Love the bench celebrating for Grand Rapids.
Played at Ohio State for 4 years of her 5-year career because of COVID. Her mother is director of operations for Columbus.
Yes, Chris Pedraza, former Chris Schaefer, who was an All-American at Minnesota. Happy Mother's Day to her.
So Briggs will go back to the line wearing number 13 in blue. In a very busy afternoon. We featured her numbers coming out of a break. She's now 15 of 38, hitting .340. Scully with the off speed. That's gobbled up. Nice read by Hilly. Abbott high up into the block and out of bounds. That's the way to hit up high into the softer part of the block.
Right? That seemed like it hung in the air forever, but Abbott, plenty of heat on that swing.
19-17 is the advantage. Once again, the Rise and Abbott must win to force a 5th set tiebreaker. Shaban Landsman, you could hear the touch. Nice dig by Scully. Smart shot. Lots of way to score a point. Simone Abbott.
Well played in transition by Grand Rapids, and they are trying to push this Omaha team into a 5th set. Look at this transition set.
Abbott getting a little bit of a hot hand. Excuse me, Holly. 5 kills in this set alone. You got to hit away from Gomez, just like all the good libros in this league. If you just hit the ball right to them, they're going to dig everything, no matter the heat. Oh, that's a tough break. Jensen missed that ball out of bounds.
Jensen got a little in front of that ball and couldn't get on top of it.
I was trying to think, you mentioned, and rightfully so, why Ristina Vučkova is the only starter on the floor. That's because they don't have another backup middle. She wouldn't be out there if they did. Good hustle once again by both teams. On the slide, cross-body, the kill by number 24, Sophie Davis. Yeah, unfortunately, Danielle Hart, who was on this Omaha roster earlier in the season, suffered a season-ending injury. Also formerly of the University of Wisconsin and a national champion. So
that's a big loss. Danielle Hart is very good.
So Vučkova does not have a backup. Abbott again, nice dig. Middle's playing defense. Rhythm set to the outside and missed. Big miss that time by Allison Mayfield. Now a 2-point advantage in the red zone. Marin Grove Take it easy over there. You got the semifinals and finals. The same with Claire Chaussee. Oh, they're young. Oh, good pass. Really good pass by Briggs. And again, very impressive by Sophie Davis. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but it bears repeating. She had 372 last year at James Madison.
And the connection between Hilly and Davis getting better every play.
Sarah Sponsel out of Loyola Marymount, then UCLA. And wasn't she the youngest beach volleyball Olympian in Tokyo?
Quite possibly.
Very, very good all-around player and a hard worker. Always trying to get better. Oh, big kill by Fingal. Exactly right about her, what you said, Holly.
Impressive offensively on the right side, but we've also seen the defense blocking at the net.
Now I see why Maren Grote, I know we're taking another look, but now I know why Maren Grote was jumping around a little bit. Her coach calling her back in, wants to go 5 sets. Grote 6th in the league in terms of service aces coming in with 16. That one pretty easily handled. Crossbody again, good read by Pedraza. Going to Fingal, change of direction, dug by Thompson. I was a little blocked on that play, Holly. They called a back row attack. Oh, the libero set the ball inside the 3-meter line. I thought that might be what happened, but I was just blocked out. The libero can only set the ball overhanded from behind the 3-meter line, so that is an illegal set and an illegal attack, and a timeout is called by Omaha, 23-20.
Omaha wants a timeout.
Let's go into the huddle now, brought to you by Girl Talk on the Grand Rapids side. They're talking about over there, getting into a 5th set.
Well, I think they need to keep the pressure on, and it starts from the service line. Get this Omaha team out of system, and then play the tendencies. Now this team has been on the court, like Davis, for example, crossbody, get some stops defensively and push a 5th set.
Morgan Fingal, 4 of 13 with 1 error. Erica Pritchard got off to a very good start. We'll see her on Wednesday. Claire Chaussee, again, was the offensive star. Played very much part-time. She hasn't played since the 3rd set. Chaussee will finish with her 6th match this year where she'd had 20 or more kills.
She was so impressive today. You see Sydney Hilly talking to Natalia Valentine Anderson. They are the 2 setters for this Omaha team, and what a talented duo.
Perfect pass by Briggs in system, and it rattles through the block. Lohman was a little bit late, but that's because the pass was right on target. 23-21. That ball missed out of bounds. Pretty good timing, pretty good swing that time by Fingal, but just missed it long. Now, another thing about the second units of both of these teams, they play together all the time. You know, this is like nothing new.
They do, and they play against their A side. They're used to being pushed and playing at a high level.
Mayfield again, the lead is only 1. Have a challenge that the ball was clearly out of bounds, and get a little bit fortunate here that they're probably challenging a block touch.
Grand Rapids is challenging a block touch.
Yep, challenging block touch, hearing from the first referee. The PA is into the building and very, very helpful. I wish they would do that a lot more in college volleyball. Let the audience know exactly what is being challenged.
They do not see it.
No, not yet. And I don't think we will. Boy, the pictures are so good. And that ball missed out of bounds, and the call will stand. So now 23-22. Good pass by Scully. And we'll get it back on the left side, and she's blocked. Shannon Scully, number 10, on the left side, is rejected. Shaban Landsman has been very, very good as a pin blocker on the right side with some help out of the middle.
But they also know that ball's going out to the pin because they've not set Lohman out of the middle yet.
Nor do they here. Good touch by Sponsel. Going to Fingal again and high off the block and out of bounds. That's a tough swing to take. There's a lot of pressure on that swing. Set point number 1 for Fingal and Grand Rapids. Trying to force a 5th set tiebreaker. Tough serve, but well handled. And Briggs. What a good pass. And you saw Gabby Thompson, the libero, immediately going over to Mayfield, the receiver, who dropped that dime right on the head of Hilly.
Really important time to nail that pass.
Thompson, the libero, will give way to one of the middle blockers. In this case, Sophie Davis. There you go. Coach Holly McPeak sent Molly Lohman.
Please, I mean, more middles, especially after a great first contact.
Well, again, you look at the reception numbers. Grand Rapids is passing at 56% good or perfect, 43% right now for Omaha. Puchkova, no. Gomez, quality contact, feeding Fingal a lot, and why not?
Mac Pedraza has so much confidence in Morgan Fingal. Very comfortable. All season long, they've done that double sub as a unit, so very comfortable together. And now we go to a 5th set.
The season started back in January on the 24th in Omaha. Atlanta and Omaha went 5 sets. And the very last match of the year here in Grand Rapids will also go 5 sets. Back to finish it off right after this. Welcome back to Grand Rapids once again, and we're going to play 5. Look at the numbers, 63-55. The digs very, very even as well. And Morgan Fingal took a couple of pressure-packed swings in that 4th set to give Grand Rapids a chance.
I thought she was really impressive, but Simone Abbott as well, 5 for 10, only 1 error. So Grand Rapids doing a really nice job, but Morgan Fingal was taking the big swings at the end when it counted.
She did that for Tennessee for a long, long time, had a very distinguished All-American career. And I always just admired, I'd never really met Morgan Fingal, but I just so admired how hard she played and her body language and the way she related with her teammates. I thought it was very, very impressive. She's continuing that on as a pro. Morgan Fingal right on cue along with Lohman for the opening stuff. Once again, 15-point tiebreaker. The teams will not change sides.
We were talking about her, and she heard us, got up a little extra high, but nice hand penetration on her opponent's side of the net to block that ball. 8th stuff block for Grand Rapids. And crossbody once again, but missed by Davis, number 24 in blue. Right now, Grand Rapids putting all sorts of pressure on Omaha. Omaha's got a rotation with setter in the front row, so only 2 hitters available unless they use somebody out of the back row.
The long story of this match. Grand Rapids came out absolutely on fire. Claire Chaussee, Emilia Dimitrova were lighting it up. The reception was excellent. They won 25-16. And then in the 2nd set, Omaha went to their bench and changed it completely, and also changed the direction of this match, because Omaha and quote-unquote their reserves, Morgan Fingal again, good call on who to feature coming out of the 4th set. They won 25-23, 25-23. And then Kathy George, and I think psychologically a brilliant move, went to her bench. And then her team, the Grand Rapid Rise, came back and won the 4th.
And Morgan Fingal again.
Jaden Landsman out of the middle, showing some real versatility.
I like that. I love having an opposite who can hit that quick ball, too.
Even though it's to 15, each team will have 2 challenges, tied 2 sets apiece. Good serve, I should say reception by Abbott. Really smart swing, really smart swing. I thought that ball was going to come up. Even if it did, it was still a smart swing to get ahead in the point.
Well, Fingal's crushed her last 3 swings in the angle. Looks like Omaha makes that adjustment, then just working the outside of the block, soft touch.
Landsman again looking for back-to-back kills, cover by Hilly. Right side again, feed the hot hand, not yet, perfect dig. That's a mistake, right on top of the net. Wow, reaching over the net, and that's not challengeable. That's a judgment call, and we were talking about that interpretation before the match. The first referee calling that the ball was entirely on the side of the Grand Rapids Rise, and so Omaha couldn't go over and legally get it. Crossbody again, Sophie Davis.
We say, yeah, she's hitting crossbody, but it's with a lot more range than you expect. That one dropped inside the 3-meter line. 24 comes around, and look at that. Wow.
That's against Maren Grote, too, one of the top blockers in the league. That's just really good offense and a beautiful delivery by Hilly. Good read by Abbott as that ball drifts over the end line. Omaha at 16-7 on the year. Grand Rapids at 11-12 have lost 3 out of their last 4. Omaha has won 5 out of their last 6 and 4 in a row. And headed for the semifinals on Wednesday. Oh, good block.
Mac Pedraza, such a fiery blocker, loves that part of the game.
I got to ask her after the match if she knows who Dikembe Mutombo is.
Oh, I guarantee you she does. Big sports fan in their family, and she gives the Dikembe Mutombo shake.
Tough serve. Fingal doing it all. Got Fingal on the ground, outside to Scully. Good first contact. Grote on the slide. Ball set too low. Quality of contact continues to be very good. That ball was set. Kathy George really wanted that one in transition, but I thought that ball was set a little bit low.
I agree.
Long rally, Fingal That been on the ground, playing defense, transitioning from offense to defense. Still with a three-point advantage. Once again, no side change at 8. Grote with a one-footed takeoff in front. Gomez making that play look easy. Oh, good swing. Shaban Landsman again in the rally. Just a perfect contact to set up Hilly.
And Paige Briggs so quick through that seam between Pedraza and Grote. There's that good first contact, and then too much seam to work with.
16 of 48 now for Briggs. Scully off the edge of the block, and Sydney Hilly's not a happy camper. Come to 8. We will take a media timeout. The teams will not change sides, so we will go the distance here in Grand Rapids.
Here you see the tool of the block. Very nice by Shannon Scully of Grand Rapids.
This gives you a pretty good view of what's going to happen next week in the semifinals. Atlanta has been, they won the regular season, and they have been very impressive, their record against the other semifinalists, as you see also from Omaha, San Diego, and Grand Rapids. The only team that Grand Rapids has not beaten in the entire 7-team league, so 6 opponents, is Omaha. Vuchkova off the edge of the block and away from Fingal. A much-needed side-out first ball score for Omaha. The Supernovas now trailing 8-6 here in the 5th. Really a good opportunity. I know that the coaches are well aware of how good their benches are. Free ball coming, no. That's a reception error by Grand Rapids, but to see this group play together under this sort of spotlight, if you will, it's giving these coaches a lot of comfort going into the semifinals. Very impressive play right through the roster. Briggs again. Fingal getting a lot of swings. Shaban Landsman into the cross court. The opposites going at one another. And again. Gomez, the ball just never goes down. Oh, that one does. Simone Abbott just unloading, and Camila Gomez in the red libero jersey continues to fly around.
So fun to watch her play defense and then setting it up for offense. Pancake breakfast served, and then Simone Abbott, beautiful kill in the cross court.
Oh, smart shot. Not a good set by Maren Grote, who kind of apologized to Simone Abbott. But a communication error there. Hilly blocked, but the middle blocker stayed down.
Maren Grote definitely wants to get this set closer to the net. Here you see the dribbler. Omaha able to get it over, but
a good reaction by Mayfield to keep that ball off the floor. Better pass, the passing right through the lineup. We've had different liberos, we've had different receivers playing at the outside, but the level of reception has been very good. Kristina Vuchkova, 18 of her last 35, and to the point where Bird Kuhn was talking about getting their middles a lot more involved. Only saw a little of Tori Dixon because of the substitution pattern. Shaban Landsman again, dug by Scully. Fingal off the outside blocker and down.
Having such a terminal lefty on the right side of the court really stressing that defense and working the outside of the block. Morgan Fingal, very good at that.
8 kills on 24 swings, hitting at a good efficiency as well. Biggest lead of the 5th and final set until now. Pedraza would love to have that one back. But she moved on. That was really good communication with her teammates as she came into the huddle. Would never know that she had just dumped that ball into the net in a big moment. Here is Sydney Hiller. Wow, big heat. Very impressed with Simone Abbott. Boy, they've got depth at that position if Erica Pritchard or Claire Chaussee falters.
Simone Abbott, we talk about her arm, but perfect pass,
Yes.
first contact, and then the heavy arm through the seam for Grand Rapids.
Responsible. Very easy serve. Didn't know where that came from. That was just a complete lollipop. Pretty hittable ball. Tough joust coming. Omaha scrambling. Look at Gomez. One joust and another, and Shaven Landsman. That's enough and puts that ball away into the deep cross court.
Lots of good touches, but Grand Rapids played behind in that whole play.
Landsman has been good. We want to update you on her numbers. 5 of 20. It seems like she's had more impact than that, but doing some really good things in defense and blocking as well. Mayfield back to serve. Hit 231 so far on the year, but really been good in reception all evening long. Guess it is evening by now. The match started at 5:30 and we're going 5 sets. Morgan Fingal again.
So good that time, flat off the hands. So many offensive tools for Morgan Fingal, just a rookie as a pro.
And just a thought, you know what this says to me with Fingal finding her rhythm like this? We might see a lot of double sub in the semifinal on Wednesday night.
And that's something they used early in the season. Why not?
Scully off the block and out of bounds. Match points now, 4 of them for Grand Rapids.
And Grand Rapids trying to get their first win over Omaha all season long.
Grand Rapids coming off a win a week ago, but they've lost 3 out of their last 4. Joust, tough play, smart recycle by Shaven Landsman. Dug by Pedraza. This is a hittable ball. Briggs through the block, dug by Sponsel. For the win, not yet. Look at that cut shot by Shaven Landsman, and had to do it. Sponsel with the read. Where's the oxygen tank? None needed. That ball was blocked straight down by Grand Rapids' Maren Grote. What a final rally of the regular season.
Incredible, and it was Morgan Fingal and Maren Grote on that stuff block for Grand Rapids to get their first win over Omaha all season long.
Well, what an entertaining way to close out the regular season. And we'll see both of these teams next week in the semifinals. Omaha, the number 2 seed, will take on San Diego, whereas Grand Rapids will take on the number 1 seed and regular season champions from Atlanta in 5 sets. Morgan Fingal was fantastic at the end, took a lot of big swings, but a really good team effort by Grand Rapids as they take out Omaha. As you mentioned, Holly, the only team they hadn't beaten all season long, and this was their last chance, unless they play in the finals. That would make both coaches very happy. We'll step aside. Grand Rapids wins at 15-10. We'll be back with more right after this. Well, wrapping up the finale, we are efforting to get Kathy George to join us here at courtside. She was offering up some gratitude to the fans here, and so we will get Kathy on in short order and talk about a very interesting evening and into the night here at Van Andel Arena, the home of the Grand Rapids Rise, and Kathy George is on with us now. No, we got to cut you some time. You wanted to.
I know the classes are here. Everything's going on.
Thank your fine fans. But what an interesting match. You started out so beautifully in virtually every phase of the game. You win the opening set 25-16. But then, to use a phrase, did you get a little discombobulated when they went deep into their bench and lost your focus?
Well, that and not knowing a lot about each one of those players, not knowing kind of what they were doing, we got a little off our game, you're right, and the focus changed a little bit, and they started just doing what they do, and we were just kind of, you know, we were just catching up. We were playing behind the ball, and we need to get our eyes on it earlier, and, you know, I thought that we started to get a little bit more of a rhythm with it, but, you know, that team came out, though, and they did a great job, and we saw some great play from all of our players.
Yes,
We're
yes.
excited about
the depth on both teams.
Oh, wasn't it great? Like, it was a phenomenal match, and you see all these great players that aren't getting as much playing time.
Exactly.
You know, really showing why they're here in the Pro League.
After a week off, what was your plan in terms of keeping your starters in?
Well, I do think that I do think that they want a picture. I gotta wait. I do think that we
minute and a half. We're good.
No. We were saying, really honestly, that we were going to watch the match and see what we needed to do, and kind of make sure that we're feeling good about our team. And they did a great job, and you could see what that meant to the whole team to be out there and play with. Right. So I think it actually did achieve what we wanted it to achieve.
Kathy, thanks so much for your time. We'll see you. We'll see you in 72 hours, it seems.
Absolutely.
Go be with your team.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for your time and stopping by. We really appreciate it. Let's take a look at the bracket once again. And for the tournament coming up on Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock Eastern time, Atlanta will take on this same Grand Rapids team coming off really a fun match with nothing, honestly, not much of nothing on the line. And these players played so hard. And then in the bottom half of the bracket, in the nightcap, 9:30 Eastern time, Omaha will take on San Diego. And then for $1 million, winner takes all, 4:30 Eastern time on Saturday. Your thoughts about this, and then looking forward to a couple of days' time?
I thought Grand Rapids Rise looked extremely strong in the first set. That's the team that was well rested and executed at a high level. But then we were able to see all their young players off the bench come in and play at a really high level. So good things for Grand Rapids, and I don't think Omaha loses much.
Once again, happy Mother's Day to one and all. Beautiful day here in the Midwest, and it was a wonderful volleyball match. Grand Rapids coming out on top 3-2 for our entire CBS Sports crew. And my partner, Holly McPeak. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, wherever you may be. And we'll see you next week in Omaha for $1 million